What's good, YouTube? Super Insane 18 here, bringing you this Sunday's episode of Road to Ranked, actually on Saturday. I will be uploading this tomorrow on Sunday, but tomorrow is actually my birthday, so I won't have the time to record. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So I created a new team for this episode, and we'll see here that it is Comfy, Goodra, Urshifu, Talonflame, Porygon Z, and Primarina. I think hopefully, let me just double check my capture card here. I think we fixed that screen tearing issue, so we're going to see if that happens. If it does, not quite sure what we're going to do, but our opponent has a Milotic, Talonflame, Comfy, Dracozolt, Duraludon, and Urshifu. We don't know if it is water or dark. The one that we're playing is actually the dark variant. Let's go ahead and lead with Primarina, because it's got good coverage for everything on his side of the field, and I'm thinking Goodra. We will definitely bring the Urshifu in the back. And the Porygon. So I was debating there on the Comfy or the Porygon. You know, we have the Comfy that is able to boost our Goodra with its Giga Drain and heal everything because Triage is broken, giving priority 3 to all healing type moves. So let's go ahead and jump in. Alright, it looks like we still have the screen tearing. I'm not quite sure why. Alright, I did just adjust the capture card again. No, so I'm gonna need to double check what could actually be causing that. Honestly, I'm not too sure. But here, I think our best course of action is to Hyper Voice. That'll get us our boost on Throat Spray. And then honestly, I just kind of want to Max Knuckle into the Urshifu, seeing as it is dark. The combination should take out both of my opponent's Pokemon. Presumably the Urshifu is Focus Sashed, so that's why I kind of went into it again. Let's see. So I'm maxing first, which leads me to believe that he didn't max anything. Urshifu should be faster than Goodra. Alright, and he gets his Tailwind up, which honestly I expected, but I'm not too worried about the speed control in this match. He's going to Wicked Blow and crit into my Goodra, still doesn't even bring me down to half, and I think we're in really good position here. So the Max Knuckle comes through on the Urshifu, brings it pretty low. The Hyper Voice should definitely take it out, considering that it is Liquid Voice. And then I don't think there's any world that the Talonflame lives that either. Yep, okay, so we take both down. We are going to get our Throat Spray boost after it shows the KO animation. Alright, and honestly, I think that puts us in a really good position. If he's got the Dracozolt in the back, a Wormwind should take it out. We are +1, even if he Wormwinds us. We don't necessarily care because it'll only take us back down to neutral. I think honestly though, we're better off Moonblasting into that slot and doubling in with the Wormwind just in case he maxes it. He will be faster, so we want to make sure that we get an attack into it either way. And then I've got the Urshifu in the back to take care of the Duraludon, so I'm not too scared of it. Alright, now it's just really a question of which one he maxes here, whether it's the Duraludon or the Dracozolt. I would assume the Dracozolt, given the position that he's in. Okay, there we go. So he's got two options here. He can either Wormwind into our Goodra to take it out, or he can Lightning into the Primarina to take that out. I think either way the Dracozolt goes down here. Okay, so he did Lightning, and that should take us out. I don't see a world in which Primarina lives that. But now we are +1. We do get our Wormwind off into it, And honestly, even if the Wormwind doesn't kill it +1, we just send out the Urshifu and Sucker Punch it. Okay, and Wormwind takes it out, so we're in a really good position here. I think we just close combat and max knuckle it for the next turn. Yeah, with everything that we have, I don't see a scenario in which this Duraludon can 1v3. So we're just going to close combat. He protected last turn, so he can't do it again this turn. And knuckle, and that should seal the game. Alright, so we went for Steel Beam. He went into the Urshifu. Unfortunately, we are sashed, so that doesn't matter. There goes half of the Duraludon's health. It is also Life Orbed, and this close combat will take him out. And that is the first win for this episode. So let's see what happens in our next battles there. I think we led really well for what he had. And that definitely helped us. The early boost on the Primarina didn't really come into play, unfortunately, but it was able to take out the starting 2-mon without any sort of effort. So let's go ahead and just run the next one. It is a Saturday morning, so hopefully there are more people on the ladder than there were on Wednesday's video. I know it took us a little bit of time to actually find a trainer, but here we found one pretty instantly, so I'm feeling good about it. He is lower than us in rank, but that's definitely not any reason to underestimate him. He's got Rabombi, Primarina, Lycanroc, Cherim, Alolan Marowak, and Dusclops, so it definitely looks like he's going to try some Trick Room shenanigans. Based on his team, I think the Comfey Goodra lead is probably the best way to go. There's really nothing that he can do that will one-hit KO the Goodra. I definitely want to bring the Urshifu. Or do I want to bring the Urshifu, actually? He's got multiple fairy types. I was just looking at the Marowak. Instead of the Urshifu, let's bring the Primarina. I can hit the Marowak for super effective damage, I can hit the Lycanroc for super effective damage, and I do have Energy Ball for the opposing Primarina. And then for our last Mon, let's actually bring the Porygon. So I'm not sure if I'm going to max the Goodra right away. It really depends on his lead. Whenever I bring Porygon, I'm sort of inclined to save the max for him, just so that I don't have to recharge off Hyper Beams. But given his team and it being what looks like a Trick Room base, I don't know if I really want to lower his speed with a Max Strike. Okay, so he led Lycanroc, Dusclops. I think I do want to max the Goodra. I don't think I'm really worried about the Trick Room. I can counter Trick Room on the next turn. Let's go ahead and Giga Drain into our Goodra for a boost, and we'll max Knuckle into the Lycanroc, just to get our attack up even higher. So he didn't max anything. He could have potentially maxed the Lycanroc, but since we're going first, we know that he didn't. Again, no way that a Goodra will outspeed that Lycanroc. So I'm feeling pretty good here. The Lycanroc, in theory, goes down unless it's Focus Sashed. He gets up a Trick Room, but like I said, I can just counter Trick Room if it's an issue. So Sap Sipper, we get our attack boost up. He goes for Rock Slide. We will not flinch because we are maxed. The Max Knuckle comes out. This is +1. Okay, and it is sashed. But that's fine, we can actually priority Giga Drain it on the next turn. And there is the Trick Room. So I'm not too worried about that just yet. That means that the Lycanroc is the slowest thing on the field now, technically the fastest. He could Accelerock for priority, that's fine. I actually think I want to go for the +2 Wormwind onto this Dusclops. In theory, it's the strongest move I have against it, and hopefully we can just get an easy takeout. So Giga Drain priority thanks to Triage, we take down the Lycanroc, and then I'm not sure how much this Wormwind is going to do, but we'll see. So he Nightshades into the Comfey, which is fine. Comfey's pretty much done its job here. Not much left for it to do. That does a good amount of damage. It doesn't KO, but now it can Pain Split, which is a little unfortunate. I think this is the turn that I counter Trick Room, and I think I just let it Pain Split and then take out whatever he brings in. Okay, so he brought in the Marowak, which the Marowak could take out the Comfey, and then I don't get the Trick Room counter, which I think is fine. I don't think the Marowak can take out Goodra. Let's go ahead and counter Trick Room, and then we're going to Wormwind into the Marowak. If he ally switches, we take out the Dusclops and we still lower the Marowak's attack. Okay, so he goes for Haze, which gets rid of our +2, which I'm fine with that, honestly. If I survive, I can always just Giga Drain. Okay, we don't. That's fine, though. So we're going to get a neutral Wormwind off. We're still going to lower the attack, which is fine by me. And we did a decent chunk of damage to it as well. So I think we brought the Primarina in the back, right? Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and go into the Primarina. So let's go ahead and Hyper Voice. And I honestly, well, what did he have on his team? Wrong button. He could potentially have the Primarina in the back or the Rabombi, so clicking Outrage isn't the best move. But honestly, I think I'm okay with it. Worst case scenario is I just don't hit. Okay, and he didn't even Pain Split. That's fine. So I think he's just trying to kill the Primarina here, but we are slower than the opposing Marowak, so it does go down, and that means the Goodra will take out the Dusclops here. We do get our Throat Spray boost. So again, it's kind of a similar situation to our last game. I don't think whatever he has in the back is capable of pulling off a 1v3. If it is the Primarina, we are locked into Outrage, so we kind of have to waste a turn with our Goodra. I don't think that there's anything that the Primarina can do to one-hit us with the Assault Vest that we have, and with our +1, this Energy Ball should take it out. Hopefully. Like I said, I'm really not... Oh, he still has a max, that's right. So the Energy Ball probably won't take out then through the max. If he max Starfalls into the Goodra, I think we still win, or still live it, rather. Like I said, the Assault Vest, plus it's just so naturally defensively bulky. I did forget that he didn't max, though, so we might not be in a great position. Okay, we do a little bit under half with the Energy Ball, which is fine. They are going to Starfall into the Goodra. Oh no, they Starfalled into the Primarina. Okay. I think that's fine. The Primarina was the threat, you know, it's at +1. So taking that out's probably a good move on my opponent's part. It is Life Orbed, so I feel kind of confident there. And now we are faster with the Goodra again, and the Trick Room ended, so I think if we Thunderbolt Power Whip, that seals the game for us. That's the good thing about Outrage against Fairy types, is you don't stay locked into it. You know, they very well could have made it so that you stay locked in, but because it's Fairy, it does no damage. It actually unlocks you, you don't get confused. It's kind of the perfect out, honestly. But that is going to be game for us. So looks like this team is currently 2-0, and let's see if we can get a third win. Alright, we are going to move up a couple hundred. Our opponent, like I said, was kind of in the 9,000s, so we didn't get that big of a boost. But we are making our way back up to where we were, which is always good. Alright, he's in the 11,000, so again, if we do win, we won't get that big of a boost. If I'm not mistaken, that's actually Cybertron's team again. So we do have the Alolan SANDSLASH, which makes me not want to bring Goodra. I think because he's got Slush Rush, our best option is bringing Talonflame Urshifu in the front. It will kind of suck if he has the Primarina or the Ninetales, but the Urshifu will have 4 times effective damage on that SANDSLASH. Let's go ahead and bring... Primarina's a hard one here, because it really only handles the Colossal. It does have the Energy Ball for the opposing Primarina, but I don't know how good that is, honestly. I really don't want to bring the Goodra just because of his team comp. We've only got 30 seconds left. Let's bring the Primarina, and then let's also bring... Let's bring the Goodra. It's Assault Vested. It should be able to live anything other than the SANDSLASH. If we can get the SANDSLASH out quickly, then we're kind of in an okay position. Alright, so they sent out Ninetales Manectric. Honestly, that's a little bad for our Urshifu. I think what I want to do is Tailwind and switch the Urshifu out. It will also kind of mitigate the extra damage from the Hail. So we'll Tailwind, and I think the Goodra's the correct one to bring in here. We definitely don't want to bring in the Primarina because of the Manectric. The Goodra will at the very least have an Assault Vest. Honestly, not the best position. In theory, as long as we can get a Flare Blitz off on our next turn, we're okay if we don't go down to the Manectric here. Okay, so it did Volt Switch. That is unfortunately going to take us out. And then I think here he goes into the SANDSLASH. Which, if that's the case, it might be in our best interest to max Urshifu in this round. Okay, no, he went for the Primarina, which is interesting. So the Ninetales is going to set up the Aurora Veil. We are definitely not in a good position here. The fact that he didn't bring out the SANDSLASH, though, kind of makes me want to believe he doesn't have it. We definitely don't want to bring the Urshifu out here. So I think we Hyper Voice to try to get the boost. And I think we max Overgrow, or do we want to Overgrow or Steel Spike? Okay, let's change up what we're doing. Let's go ahead and Energy Ball into the Primarina, and we will max Steel Spike into the Ninetales. I think the Ninetales is sashed, so it might have still been smarter to do the Hyper Voice, honestly. We would have also gotten a boost, but... yeah, I think we made the wrong play here, honestly. He still hasn't maxed unless it's the Primarina and it's slower than us, which I'm kind of okay with if he maxes that. Okay, so I think they are maxing the Primarina here, which means that if he does have the SANDSLASH in the back, it's not that big of a deal. So the unfortunate thing is that the Energy Ball won't do too much damage here because of that, especially with the Aurora Veil up. Oh, and the Ninetales actually isn't sashed. Okay, so that's a little bit of good news on our part. We do get the defense boost in case the Mon in the back is the SANDSLASH. He still does have the Manectric, which he might send out here because of the Primarina. So he's going to Starfall into the Gudra slot. With the Assault Vest, we take that really well. So if I'm remembering correctly, the Manectric only has a either 90 or 95 base special attack, which I don't think it can OHKO the Primarina from that range. So if he sends out the Manectric, I think our best play is to Hyper Voice. So let's go ahead and Hyper Voice, and then I'm not too worried about the Manectric, honestly. I want to handle this Primarina, so we are going to Overgrow into that. Okay, so he went for the Thunder and misses, which is unfortunate on my opponent's part. I don't know why he would be running Thunder instead of Thunderbolt, unless he is planning on setting up Rain with like a Max Geyser or something. So a little bit questionable on my opponent's end. We are going to Hyper Voice. That does honestly not great damage. Definitely not as much damage as I would have thought it would do. They are going to fire off another Starfall into the Gudra slot. It's going to do a little bit more because the terrain is up, and the terrain will boost the Fairy typing. Or actually, no, the terrain wasn't up. I set up the grassy terrain, which is okay. And I'm fine with him getting rid of that. Honestly, I don't want him to heal himself. So I honestly think we can take out the Primarina here if we double into it. We are kind of banking that he doesn't hit a Thunder. But let's Energy Ball into it, and I kind of want to go for another Steel Spike just to raise the defense in the event that the SANDSLASH is the last one in the back. Well, no, my Gudra's so low already that it doesn't really matter. I think the SANDSLASH will kill regardless. So let's just double into that Primarina slot with the Overgrow instead. So he is going to Thunder. This time he does hit it. I don't know if that is enough to kill. Okay, so we do barely live. We will go down to the Hail, which is a little unfortunate, but I believe we are faster than the opposing Primarina, so this Energy Ball should take it out without issue. Alright, and so that leaves our Gudra alive. The Primarina will go down to the Hail, and then we just have to deal with Manectric and whatever he has in the back. So our Tailwind petered out, which means that the SANDSLASH will be faster if it is the one in the back. Okay, he sends out the Colossal, so I am not worried anymore, honestly. He doesn't have a max, so a close combat will do a lot of damage. And honestly, I kind of want to double into it just in case the close combat doesn't kill. So let's close combat into the Colossal. And let's Outrage. I would Superpower, but honestly Outrage is a little bit better. I can't really target who I want to attack. He is going to get another Thunder, which is unfortunate. It's going to not even bring us down to our Sash. Can this kill the Colossal? It does not. So a little unfortunate on our side. And it is a weakness policyed Colossal, which leads me to believe he was trying to do Aqua Jet strategies with the Primarina. We get the Outrage into the Colossal slot though, and that takes it out. So I think we are good. We can Sucker Punch into the Manectric, and then whatever... Well, it can't kill our Gudra, so honestly, if we just Sucker Punch here, we win. So Sucker Punch into the Manectric slot. We are locked into Outrage. And my opponent forfeits. I think he understood that there was nothing he could do there. So we have a third win. We are going to go ahead and just run one more battle. Let's see if we can go undefeated for the day. I didn't mean to look at his team. What am I doing? Go ahead and continue. So I'm a little curious why he didn't bring the SANDSLASH. I don't know if he was just that scared of the Urshifu. Honestly, the SANDSLASH would have done a lot of damage to a lot of the Pokemon on my team. Granted, you know, I did have the Talonflame, so maybe the combination of Talonflame Urshifu he didn't want to deal with. Alright, so we have Dracovish, Darmanitan, Talonflame, Primarina, the Terrakion, and the Alolan Persian. I don't know why I was brain farting there. Honestly, I'm not happy about his team at all. Do I care if he sets up Tailwind? I think I'm more afraid of the beat up on the Terrakion, which makes me want to bring Primarina Urshifu as my lead. We'll definitely bring the Goodra in the back. And then I think I actually want to bring the Comfey. I do have some priority super effective moves on certain aspects of his team. So it really just depends here. I think if he leads the Persian Terrakion, he might try to fake me out, which is okay. Okay, so he led Persian Terrakion. So now it's a matter of whether or not he goes for the fake out strategy or the beat up strategy. Honestly, I think we max Primarina and go for the Geyser into the Terrakion. And then I also think we just close combat into the Terrakion. Because I don't think he would... I feel like he would probably fake out the Urshifu. Which... I guess maybe I should have maxed the Urshifu then, but then Max Knuckle does less than close combat. But then if he faked out the Primarina, I wouldn't have gotten the Hyper Voice off. So I think the Geyser was probably safer. Let's see what he opts to do. So I could be getting into a really bad position here, honestly. He could be weakness policy'd, and then the close combat will activate the weakness policy after a beat up, putting him at a full +6, which means if he targeted the Primarina will go down. Okay, so he didn't even try a fake out. He's just going straight for the damage, which I think I'm okay with. It depends on how much this close combat does, in all honesty, and who he targeted. Best case scenario for us is he targets the Urshifu and we are sashed. But we will see. Okay, so who did he rockfall into? I don't think it would be... Okay, yeah. So takes out our Primarina. Unfortunate, we wasted our max. Let's see how much the close combat does. If it puts him in range of a Sucker Punch, then we're okay. But honestly, that's just really bad for us. Okay, and I don't think that's in Sucker Punch range. I think our best case scenario here is to try for double priority, sending out the Comfey and going Giga Drain, or actually Draining Kiss would be better. Draining Kiss Sucker Punch. And hopefully that is enough to take care of this Terrakion. It honestly has to be, otherwise he just sweeps our team. Worst case scenario, it's not, and the Sucker Punch gives him another boost. But we'll see. This is, like I said, we're in a pretty bad position that he went straight for the beat-ups instead of trying to fake out. Looks like my opponent is thinking really hard. Okay, so he's probably going to Parting Shot our Urshifu here, which is unfortunate. Makes me want to switch out the Urshifu. Okay, so he actually went for the Taunt, which is okay for us, honestly. Definitely not something that I'm mad about. The only moves that it really shuts off are the Trick Room and the Floral Healing. But the Draining Kiss and the Sucker Punch are still live, and we didn't get any sort of reduction due to a Parting Shot. So really, we're not even set back a turn. We did take a little bit of damage off of the Sandstorm, but I think we're still in a good position. Alright, again, my opponent is thinking through his move rather long here. So the... Ooh, that does not do anywhere near as much as I thought it would. I think we're in a bad position now. Unless the Sucker Punch takes it out, but it doesn't. So yeah, unfortunately we gave him another boost. This time we are going to get the Parting Shot. He is going for the Comfy, which is a little weird. I guess that means that he targeted down the Urshifu here. So he is going for a Max Knuckle. That is going to be on the Urshifu slot, and that is going to be a dead Urshifu. That will be the last boost that he needs, and it's definitely scary that he's gotten a boost on the Darmanitan here, but unfortunately I don't really think there's much we can do. Go ahead and send out our Goodra. I think we're kind of just stuck into trying to Draining Kiss again, honestly. But we also definitely need to worry about the Darmanitan. It is +1. So let's go ahead and superpower the Darmanitan slot. I think this is just game for my opponent. Okay, so the Terrakion went for a Protect, which leads me to believe he went for some kind of spread move on the Darmanitan. Okay, so he just flat out went for the Icicle Crash. That is probably going to kill our Goodra. He is +1, Goodra's defense isn't that great. Yep, and I'm pretty sure there's no way that this Comfy can 1v4. Let's go ahead and just click Draining Kiss into the Terrakion again. See if maybe we can at least get one KO against our opponent. So we do go for Draining Kiss. Unfortunately, because of the Parting Shot, we do not take it out. And that is going to be game. I don't think there's any scenario that Comfy lives this, let alone the Terrakion. Okay, so it did live the Icicle Crash at +1. The Terrakion goes for a Rock Slide and does not get a miss, so he does take out the Comfy, and that is going to be game. Alright, and that will actually do it for today. We do get a bottle of iron for our hard work, but there you have it. So if you like the team, go ahead and like the video as well. As always, if you want to see any specific Pokemon or teams, comment them in the comment section down below. But as always, thanks for watching.